the stage Dr. Herbert Harris. Herbert Harris is a retired attorney and author of numerous books, including How to Make Money in Music, a highly popular guidebook to the music industry published by Arco Prentice Hall, and the author of Power Thoughts for Your Success. Um, Take it away, Dr. Harris.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bradford. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. Number one, thanks for doing this as a part of the whole Black History Month experience. And thank you for being aware of so many things that have happened over the last 250, 300, really 400 years in this country. One of the things that I was talking with Dr. Breakthrough that I've been very blessed with was long life. I was a student in the 60s. I just turned 82. And one of the things that long living gives you an opportunity is to see stuff firsthand and to get an experience, get an idea of what it was really like, not from something that you read in a book, but from something you saw. So I grew up in the 50s where you actually had segregated left lunch counters, segregated bathrooms. And when you went into a department store, they had signs, white, colored. Or when you went to a restaurant, you had signs, whites only. And the amazing thing was that that was the law of the land. That was a law that had been really codified by the Supreme Court in the 1896 court case, Plessy versus Ferguson. And so it always amazed me that, people who are, Americans could act that way towards other Americans. And so the people that I'd like to honor today are personal friends. And in February 1st of 1960, in the beginning of the civil rights era, after Dr. King and the bus boycott in Alabama, but four young men sat down, Frank McCain, Ezel Blair, David Richmond, and Joseph McNeil. And so these young men I want to honor because they were people who participated in a turning point in the history of this nation. They were known as the Greensboro Four. They were all college students at Greensboro A&T State University. And at that time, the stores that had lunches and restaurants had segregated counters, and they would not serve Black people. Woolworths was a main restaurant chain. It was like a five and dime, almost like a general store located throughout cities in America. And this was their official policy. And so these four college students on February 1st, 1960, they went into the lunch counter at the Woolworths department store in Greensboro, North Carolina, and they sat in. And when they sat down, of course, nobody wanted to serve them. The police were called. People spat on them through catch. They were really ugly to them. But these four young men really created something that changed the world. I wrote a book called Solving the Race Issue in America by H.J. Harris. It's available on Amazon, Solving the Race Issue in America. And we talk about how certain things came together. There had been sit-ins before, but they never had an impact. But something was different about February 1960, and that was the advent of television. And so the first thing, the thing that really made it unique was the fact that now the world could see how Black people were treated in public institutions. And it shocked the world. It says this is television projected the braveness of the Greensboro Four, Joseph McNeil, Franklin McCain, Ezel Blair, and David Richmond. It was television that brought out the world. The world saw this. And one of the interesting things, now, my relationship to Joseph McNeil, we were classmates. I left for college in 1960, and he left in 1959. He actually started college in September 1959. I started college. I was the first black kid from my high school, in a segregated high school, to go to an Ivy League college. In 1960, I went to Columbia University. But Jojo and I grew up together. And he said something very interesting. He said that first day, the four of them sat there and they were so afraid, but they believed that they were right. And as they were leaving, the one of the press people asked them, "Are you coming back tomorrow?" And he said they actually hadn't planned that far ahead, but he said, "Yes, we will be back." And they came back the next day and the next day. And what happened was this entire movement caught fire. And people around the country, college students, started going into restaurants, started going into public places that would not serve black people and sitting in at the lunch counters. And within a month, there were over demonstrations in over 55 cities. And this sit-in, this boycott, this sitting in at these lunch counters changed the world. They Over 300 people joined the movement when that day right there in Greensboro. The Ku Klux Klan and all those negative people came out to intimidate them, but these young men would not be intimidated. These 55 cities, demonstrations in 55 cities, changed the course of history. Once the news picked up on it, and television was so powerful because the world could see through television that what America was projecting was not true, that America did not was not living up to its creed, and that it treated people of color very differently. And so these four men, we honor them: Joseph McNeil, Franklin McCain, Ezel Blair, and David Richmond. Joseph McNeil went on to become, when you talk about a smart brother, he went on to become a retired general. He was a major general in the United States Air Force. And at one point, he was in charge of all of the Air Force operations west of the Mississippi. And so, out of this Greensboro Four, these four young men, we should always honor them because they were seeds in the garden of change that brought about a new world order. So, this is my contribution. I'm Dr. Herbert Harris. I invite you to visit my website, herbertharris.com. I schedule interviews. You can set up a success consultation, and you can see some of our products that are designed to help transform people from people in bondage of mind to people who are free to fly, to dream, to be, and to have. And of course, our book is online, Solving the Race Issue in America by H.J. Harris. Back to you, Dr. Bradford.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Man, that was so good, Dr. Harris. I'm telling you, you lived it. So we don't have to guess what happened. You were there through some point of our Black history. And man, so you guys need to go to herbertharris.com and learn all of this stuff. Man, this was so outstanding. I am so honored to have been the host of this Hour of Power with Black History Month. And listen, you guys, I say get the audio, get the video, get the playback, and play it over and over again. I have learned so much today about influencers that have left a carbon footprint, not just in Black history, but in American history